Welcome to Smart Listening Lab, a channel for learning English through podcasts. Today on the deep dive, we're venturing into the colorful world of English idioms. These are those quirky phrases where, what's actually said is miles away from the literal meaning of the words. It's almost like the English language has its own secret handshake. Our goal today is to really unpack a selection of these popular idioms, not just tell you what they mean, but help you get a real feel for them so you can understand them better and maybe even start using them yourselves, making your English sound even more natural. We're using a list of 50 popular idioms with example sentences as our jumping off point.
That's right. And idioms are, they're such an integral part of English. You hear them constantly. Understanding them isn't just about knowing vocabulary. It's about understanding a bit of the culture and, how native speakers think. Being comfortable with idioms can really bridge the gap in communication. Adds a layer of richness, too.
Okay, let's dive straight in then. First one sounds a little dramatic. Bite the bullet.
Bite the bullet. Yeah, it's a great one to start with. Essentially, it means to face a difficult or unpleasant situation with courage and stoicism. Think of it like bracing yourself for something tough and just getting through it, without complaining much.
Right. The examples we have really illustrate that. First,
Yeah.
he had to bite the bullet and tell his boss he had made a mistake.
Oof, yeah.
You can almost feel the dread there. Not easy admitting errors.
Mm-hmm.
Then, despite the pain, she decided to bite the bullet and go through with the physical therapy. That speaks to real resilience, doesn't it?
It really does. Endurance.
And finally, when the company announced layoffs, everyone had to bite the bullet and accept the changes. This shows a kind of collective facing of hardship.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder about the origin. It's such a visceral phrase.
Well, what's fascinating about bite the bullet is its likely historical connection, probably to battlefield medicine. Before anesthesia was common, a wounded soldier might literally be given a lead bullet to bite down on.
Seriously.
Yeah, to distract them from the pain of surgery. So the idiom carries that sense of enduring something intensely unpleasant, kind of gritting your teeth.
Wow, that really puts a vivid picture in your mind. Okay, moving from battlefield bravery to something you might hear backstage. Break a leg.
Slight chuckle, yeah.
Now, if you didn't know this one, it could sound like terrible advice.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
But break a leg is actually a well-established theatrical expression. It's used to wish someone good luck.
Like, okay.
Yeah, before a performance or, say, an audition. It's the complete opposite of what it sounds like.
Right. The examples put it in context. You have your audition tonight, right? Break a leg. That's a classic good luck wish in that world.
Definitely. Standard practice.
Then the director told the actors to break a leg just before the curtain went up. Almost like a tradition.
It is.
And even when nerves are involved, even though she was nervous, her friends told her to relax and break a leg. It's meant to be encouraging.
Exactly.
It's counterintuitive, though, isn't it? Why break a leg?
It really is.
Yeah.
There are a few interesting theories about its origin. One popular idea goes back to superstition in theater. The belief that wishing someone good luck directly might actually bring bad luck.
Oh, right. Like jinxing it.
Precisely. So you say the opposite to try and, ensure a good outcome. Sort of reverse psychology. Another theory relates to enthusiastic audiences in the past. If a performance was amazing, the audience might stomp their feet so hard for encores that it might seem like the actors had broken a leg from taking so many curtain calls.
That's a fantastic insight into those quirky theater traditions. Right, after all that excitement, sometimes it's just time to call it a day.
Call it a day. Yeah, very practical, very common idiom. It simply means deciding to stop working on something. Usually because you've reached a natural stopping point, or maybe you're just tired, or the planned work time is over, that kind of thing.
The examples are so relatable. After working on the project for 12 hours, they decided to call it a day. I think many of us know that feeling.
Oh, absolutely. Been there.
Then, I'm feeling tired, she said. Let's call it a day and finish this tomorrow. That highlights that personal limit,
Yeah, knowing when to stop.
And the rain started coming down heavily, so the construction crew decided to call it a day. Sometimes circumstances just dictate it.
True. It seems like a very universally understood idea.
It does.
It reflects that common human need for rest, doesn't it?
Right.
And knowing when to pause an activity, especially work, and just resume later. Acknowledging limits.
Definitely. Okay, now let's talk about those things that weigh on our minds. Sometimes you just need to get something off your chest.
Get something off your chest. This means to talk about something that's been bothering you. Could be a worry, a secret, maybe a negative feeling you've been holding inside. It's really about the relief that comes with expressing these pent-up emotions.
Yeah, that sense of release. The examples show it. He needed to get it off his chest, so he told his friend about the argument. You can imagine the weightlifting.
Mm-hmm. Cathartic.
Then, I have something important to tell you, she said, needing to get it off her chest. There's that anticipation, that need for disclosure,
Right.
and the general wisdom in it's always good to get things off your chest rather than bottling up your feelings. Well, that's something we probably all know is true.
It is. And what's interesting about this idiom is the very physical metaphor it uses. This idea of a weight or a burden being carried literally on your chest.
Yeah.
And the act of speaking is the way to remove that weight. It speaks to that powerful connection between, emotional well-being and verbal expression.
That's a great point. Our next idiom is about being absolutely right about something. Hit the nail on the head.
Hit the nail on the head, yes. This means to say exactly the right thing, to pinpoint the truth or the solution perfectly. It implies a high degree of accuracy, of insight.
The examples are like these little moments of clarity. You hit the nail on the head when you said the problem was a lack of communication.
That's spot on.
That's when someone articulates exactly what you were thinking but couldn't quite express,
Yeah, precisely.
Her analysis of the situation hit the nail on the head. Signifies a spot-on assessment.
Mm-hmm.
And the enthusiastic agreement in, that's exactly what I was thinking, he exclaimed. You really hit the nail on the head. That shows that satisfying feeling of being completely understood.
It does. And the imagery here is quite clear, isn't it? Think about the precision needed to hit a nail exactly where you intend with a hammer. The idiom borrows that sense of directness and accuracy to describe a statement that is perfectly correct, right on target.
Makes sense. Okay, now for an idiom that involves secrets, and sometimes their accidental reveal, let the cat out of the bag.
Let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
This means to reveal a secret, often unintentionally. And once the secret's out, well, it's impossible to put it back, just like trying to stuff a cat back into a bag once it's escaped.
Chuckles. Right. The examples are all about the unveiling of something that was supposed to be kept under wraps. Someone let the cat out of the bag about the surprise party.
Oh, dear. Party ruined. Disaster for the planners. She didn't want to let the cat out of the bag before the official announcement, showing a deliberate attempt to keep it secret.
Mm-hmm. Holding it in.
And the news spread quickly when someone let the cat out of the bag, illustrates how fast revealed information can travel.
It does.
Where does such a strange image even come from? A cat in a bag.
Well, the origins of this one are a bit debated, but one popular theory suggests it relates to market practices in the past, dishonest sellers. They might try to substitute a cat which was worthless for a more valuable piglet in a bag or a poke.
A pig in a poke. Right.
Exactly. So if the buyer accidentally let the cat out of the bag before completing the purchase, the deception would be revealed. So the phrase became associated with exposing a hidden truth or a secret.
That's a fascinating, if slightly shady, origin story.
Hmm.
Our next idiom is about finding common ground. See eye to eye.
To see eye to eye with someone, it simply means to agree with them, to share the same viewpoint or understanding on a particular matter. The examples show that agreement isn't always a given, though. They don't always see eye to eye on political issues. A very common scenario.
Very common, yes.
It's important for business partners to see eye to eye on major decisions, highlighting the need for alignment in crucial situations.
Absolutely critical there.
And the positive outcome in, after a long discussion, they finally started to see eye to eye, shows that reaching agreement is possible eventually.
It is.
It really emphasizes the visual aspect, doesn't it, seeing eye to eye?
It does. The idea of being on the same level, sort of looking at something from the same perspective. It suggests a shared understanding. It implies that if you literally see eye to eye, your viewpoints are likely to be aligned. Often used in situations involving negotiation, compromise.
Makes sense. Now, for something that happens very rarely, once in a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon, very infrequent, almost never. It describes something that is a really rare occurrence.
The examples really drive home this sense of rarity. He only visits his hometown once in a blue moon. That paints a clear picture of very infrequent visits.
Yeah, hardly ever.
Opportunities like this come along once in a blue moon. emphasizing the uniqueness and infrequency of something good.
Seize the day kind of thing.
And we go out for dinner at a fancy restaurant once in a blue moon shows it's a special, infrequent treat.
Definitely not a regular event.
I've always wondered about the blue moon part. Is there actually a blue moon?
Well, the term blue moon actually has astronomical origins. It technically refers to the second full moon that appears within a single calendar month.
Oh, okay.
Which is a relatively uncommon event, astronomically speaking. Doesn't happen every month. So the idiom directly borrows from this infrequent celestial phenomenon to describe anything that happens very rarely.
That's a nice connection to the natural world. Oh, cool. Our next idiom describes something we all appreciate. When a task is a piece of cake.
A piece of cake. Simple one, this. It just means something that is very easy, requires little effort or difficulty.
The examples are great for showing just how effortless something can feel. The exam was a piece of cake. Every student's dream, right?
Absolutely. Wish they all were.
Don't worry about it, he said. It'll be a piece of cake, offering that simple reassurance.
Yeah, no sweat.
And for her, solving Sudoku puzzles is a piece of cake, highlighting that ease can be relative. What's easy for one?
Exactly. It's interesting how often we use food metaphors for ease, isn't it?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
The idea of eating a piece of cake is generally associated with pleasure and, well, very little effort. It's a small, easily consumed treat.
Mm.
And the idiom cleverly transfers that feeling of simplicity to a task. You also hear easy as pie sometimes. Similar logic.
Right, right. And finally, we have one of those idioms that can make you jump a little. Speak of the devil.
Ah, speak of the devil. This is what you say when a person you were just talking about suddenly appears or contacts you. It's often said with a sense of mild surprise, maybe amusement at the coincidence.
Yeah, the examples really capture that unexpected timing. Did you hear about John? Oh, speak of the devil, here he comes. That's the classic scenario playing out.
Happens all the time.
We were just discussing your new project, and speak of the devil, you called. That's a slightly spooky coincidence sometimes.
It can feel like it, yeah.
And I wonder where Sarah is. Speak of the devil, she just texted me, shows it doesn't even require a physical appearance, just a text.
Any kind of contact.
Why the devil, though? Seems a bit strong.
Well, the devil in this idiom comes from the old superstition, the old belief that speaking of the devil might actually summon him, make him appear.
Ah, okay.
So when the person you were just talking about suddenly appears, it's a playful acknowledgement of that superstition, suggesting it's almost as if your conversation conjured them up.
Got it. So we've explored 10 really common English idioms today. Bite the bullet, break a leg, call it a day, get something off your chest, hit the nail on the head, let the cat out of the bag, see eye to eye, once in a blue moon, piece of cake, and speak of the devil. Hopefully digging a little deeper into their meanings and maybe their origins has given you a richer understanding.
Absolutely. Recognizing and understanding these idiomatic expressions is a significant step in enhancing your English skills. It allows you to grasp the subtleties of communication, really, and appreciate the cultural nuances embedded in the language.
And remember, this is just a small taste, isn't it? The world of English idioms is vast. Keep an ear out for these colorful phrases as you continue your English learning journey. You'll probably be surprised how often they pop up in conversation, in movies, everywhere.
Yeah. And this brings up an interesting point, maybe something for you to consider. Think about how these idioms and figurative language in general offer a unique window. A window into the way English speakers perceive the world and express their experiences. They often carry historical weight, cultural weight, adding layers of meaning way beyond just the literal words themselves.